So anyways, I get done. I get all my groceries ready. I'm ready to check out. And my first option is always the express lane because I only buy groceries for myself. I don't have, family or anything. So I only have a few groceries every time I go shopping. And on the express lane, it says 12 items or less. It says it right there, as big as you can read. So I go there, and it seems that every time I go to the express lane, you always get these people full of shopping carts that look like they're trying to prepare for the apocalypse or something, or they're trying to stock up for Thanksgiving dinner where they're going to be feeding their entire church. So that never works out. I don't think they understand that if you have a shopping cart, you don't belong in the express lane. It's for only items that you carry with your hand or the hand basket. If you have a shopping cart, get out of the express lane. But there's no telling these people this. So my next option is, of course, the regular old, checkout lanes with cashiers and, the generic checkout lanes. So it seems that every grocery store has about 80 checkout lanes, but there's only one on at a time. I never saw that many checkout lanes just full. I guess they're like, you need one checkout lane, then you need 79 backups in case the other 78 break. But I don't know. That's what it seems like. So their one line for the regular checkout is like longer than you can even see. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to go to my last option, the self checkout, and that's amazing because the self checkout where I'm from, I don't know where you guys are from, but down here in North Carolina, it's kind of like a game show. You have these 4 self checkouts, and then you have this one guy or girl at the podium kind of overseeing everything. I guess they're there to make sure you don't steal anything or if you need help. But it's kind of like, all right, if you're just standing there, can you just check out my stuff for me? But, they have to watch and make sure that you do it properly. So I get to the self checkout, and it's usually full of these, old people who have never used a computer before and think they're talking to R2D2. I guess they are only using the self checkout because it's like on their bucket list or something. But I can just see these old people walk up to these self checkouts, and this game show host, cashier, whatever the heck you call her, I can just see her looking at him and be like, yeah, lady, you're never gonna figure this out. So then they're like, and I guess this is what happens when you're old. Whenever you're young, I guess, and I don't know because I've never been old, but this is just what I've seen, and not making fun of old people or anything like this, but whenever you're young, you can just look at something and focus, whether it's far away or near, it just comes into focus. But evidently when you get old, and did you ever notice that like when they're reading books or something like this, then they have to like manually focus it with their hands. And of course, whenever you're in the self-checkout, they have that screen. It's a computer screen, and you can't move it back and forth with your hands. So I see them all put on their reading glasses and moving their moving their head back and forth, trying to get this thing in focus. So finally, they figure it out, and so I'm next. So I get done, acting all, all right, I'm young, I know about this technology stuff. I'll show you guys how it's done, crack my knuckles. So I get done checking everything out, and I'm ready to pay and swipe my card. So I swipe my card, and it says, cannot read or whatever. I'm like, what the heck? So I swipe it again, cannot read it. Come on. So I try to trick it. I'm like, swipe up, swipe down and up, trying my different swiping techniques to get it to read. So finally, after like 100 times, it says, please see attendant. So now I have to raise my hand like an idiot, but like, the little raise your hand to shame, but like, yeah, I'm too dumb to figure this out. Yeah, hoping no one's looking, hoping no one notices me. Like, yeah, I can't figure out the self-checkout. I teach computer programming, but this is just too hard for me. So, then the, game show queen checkout lady comes over, and she's like, all right, let me see. So she takes my card, and she's like, swipe, doesn't work. Swipe, doesn't work. So, they always have a little trick where they have to, like, wrap it in a plastic bag or do the rain dance with it and be like, all right, yeah, it should work now. Swipe, not working. And I'm always paranoid of this. Every time they swipe my card, then it says it's not working, but it's secretly working anyways. And then whenever you hit send, it's like going to cash in on all those 800 swipes. So I'm thinking whenever she's swiping, this is what's going on. 30 bucks, 60 bucks, 90 bucks, 120, 150, and I can just hear my bank account draining from all these swipes that they say aren't working. So that's what I'm paranoid of. But needless to say, I got home and everything worked out fine. I actually checked my bank account, and it actually did only go through once after 200 tries. But that was my experience with the checkout. So hopefully it goes a little bit better next time.